Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hi everyone. Before you watch the next few Babble for Fives, we wanted to give you a quick update as to what you might be seeing on screen.
Yes. One of the main features of Season 3 for us has been learning how to use a new camera and all the settings that it has entailed, and that has led to a little bit of a learning curve for us, and there's a couple of things that have been a little not quite up to par in terms of quality in some of the episodes that you're going to watch in Season 3, unfortunately. We have since learned, we have gotten better, but you might see a little bit of graininess, a little bit of out of focus. You might see that we might not be playing as much with our cuts and whatnot. It might not be as fancy, but I promise you we'll get back to form, and we apologize for the error, and we hope you'll hang with us. Hello, I'm Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
We just got done watching Convictions, Episode 2 of Season 3 of Babylon 5, and guess what time it is? It's time to babble for 5. So we have an influx of two things coming into Babylon 5 this week. Missionaries and terrorists.
I think one of them was the problem here, and one of them was the solution here.
Which one was which?
Gosh, I hope it was clear from this episode.
In this instance, Brother Theo and his crew really stepped up and helped out, and I think maybe proved their worth as a possible asset on Babylon 5.
Yeah, I think they're there under some sort of guise. I already am suspicious of them.
Well, you gotta be, right?
Right, you're suspicious of everything. No one is who they seem to be on Babylon 5.
Correct. Now, this terrorist guy, on the other hand, kind of the usual terrorist bull that in a post-9/11 world, sadly, we are used to.
At the same time, it's the same sort of things that motivate all terrorists. It's pay attention to me.
This guy went just a little crazy, and yes, he went through a traumatic thing. He lost it all. This is an exercise in what happens when it happens to the wrong person, and we're seeing this happen a lot.
This continues to be a theme in end of Season 2, start of Season 3, obviously now, for Babylon 5, which is the pain I have felt I must now inflict upon others.
It says quite a bit about terrorists in general.
Yeah, true.
That is what terrorists want. They do want people to be walking around paranoid, living in fear, wondering if and when the next attack comes.
Ultimately, it's about control. When you feel a lack of control in your life and your circumstances or for your people, how can I control this uncontrollable situation, even though control is an illusion?
It's true. We think we have a lot more control than we actually have. I think as long as you have humanity, you have these kinds of situations, people going off the deep end when they don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
It seems like every time I rewatch this episode, it feels more and more familiar, and I kind of hate that feeling. So props to JMS, though, for having this understanding of what this kind of situation is like, and doing so when it's not nearly as commonplace. Side note, Patrick Kilpatrick, the guy who played the terrorist.
Oh, that's who that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Possible best guest name ever? Or not?
Not for me. Not as a fellow Patrick. That was not what I wanted to see.
Let's talk about what might have been the funnier situation in all of this, which is Londo and Char trapped in the lift together. What did you think about this?
It's a very kind of disturbing look inside the mind of Char.
I think he is a slightly twisted fellow.
And, I mean, he's always been slightly twisted, but now he took that turn into, like, slightly maniacal, that insane, that's why we're going to win, that I'm not sure I like. Yeah, he's no longer rational. I think he got broken.
Oh, okay, broken when? In this episode?
No, he got broken when the Narn lost the war and had to surrender and sign agreements and all that good stuff. You saw it. He's broken, and now he's just kind of looking for that opportunity to strike and turning maybe into a terrorist himself.
Oh, that could be interesting. Are you thinking there's some foreshadowing, some parallel here?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And this kind of harkened back a little bit to the old Season 1 Char of angry Char. Thank goodness for John Sheridan, who has a rational brain and is not quick to come to conclusions. And thank you also for having such a cool head dealing with a terrorist. He was ice cold.
Right up until he had to sit down on a thing he had shoved up his butt.
Well, I mean, you knew that was going to be a flawed plan going in, right?
Yes. Any plan that involves sticking something up your butt, reconsider it.
A lesson for everybody.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Linear a moment ago, and that really kicks this episode off. He saves Londo's life. Lanier in this episode is just so pure.
I think he's pure up to a point, and then he comes to regret saving Londo's life.
The real interesting dynamic here is this is not necessarily Londo and Lanier's kind of like first rodeo together. Dare I say, does Londo have a little bit of a tender spot for Lanier?
Well, if he didn't, he does now. I do think that certainly in Centauri culture, they're not going around saving each other's lives.
No, especially if they stand to benefit from the loss of life.
And Londo said it himself. He said he can't remember anybody saving his life.
Yes, he
and
did.
He doesn't know how to react. And he doesn't know how to feel gratitude. That's like a new emotion for him, so.
Maybe so, but I think in that respect, he did pretty good here.
Yeah,
good job, Londo. I'll catch you doing good here.
Yep, now just finish a job, shoot Morden in the face. Let's move on with life.
Well, I think that'll do it for convictions, and we have a lot of cleaning up to do now. This place is smoky and burnt and charred to a crisp. And is it hot in here?
Yeah, it's a little warm. Don't touch the door.
Ouch. So, if you like this video, please do the like thing, do the subscribe thing if you haven't already. Get that bell on and you know when the Babbles come out. By the way, it's 10 a.m. on Sundays if you're not paying any attention. And we look forward to all of your comments. We really do appreciate you participating in this conversation with us.
Yeah, it's awesome to have the feedback that you're giving us. And in those comments, no spoilers, please, because I don't know what's coming after this.
That's right. So with that, everybody, hope you're having a good day.
All right, see you later.